A top Ford executive apologizing today at the automaker's ad agency in India, firing an undisclosed number of workers after a series of proposed ads, including images of women bound and gagged in the back of a Ford Figo, went viral this week. Here to discuss the growing fallout is WSJ's Ford reporter Mike Ramsey. Mike, thanks for joining us.
Sure. Well, basically, the latest today is at the New York Auto Show. Jim Farley, the global vice president of marketing and sales, who's in charge of advertising, came out with an apology and talked about how disgraceful the ads were. And earlier in the day, in India, it was announced that JWT, the advertising firm, had let go of an undisclosed number of employees who were involved in the advertisement, and that Ford is going to be reviewing its procedures for how ads are coordinated. But right now, Ford, it's a public relations mess that Ford is dealing with, but I think that we're probably on the downside of it. And as I've said earlier in the week, this is something that happens from time to time in these regional advertising agencies where there's just not as much control from the head office.
And in fact, these ads were never even supposed to be made or much less even publicized. Isn't that right?
Yeah, basically, this was these were ads were created by a team and uploaded to a website called Ads of the World that it runs a contest for the best advertisements. And they were, there were 3 different posters. They were trying to show the size of the hatch trunk in the Ford Figo, which is a subcompact vehicle, and they showed basically kidnapped people that were kind of like problematic for the driver. They showed a driver, there was one Formula One driver, Michael Schumacher, in the back where were some competitors who were up and coming drivers. Another shows someone who looks like Paris Hilton with the Kardashians, sisters in the back who are maybe like vying for the public attention, and then there's Silvio Berlusconi, who's the Italian prime minister, who's had a lot of sex scandals in his past, and it shows
right. We're looking at a picture of that ad actually right now on the screen. We can see that, and of course you can see that women very scantily clad in some very compromising positions. And of course this comes on the heels of a very sensitive time in India, where they've had some real problems and headline cases about violence against women.
Yeah, it's terrible public relations, and the timing is makes it clear that no one in Ford's headquarters, no one in Dearborn would ever sign off on something like this. And it's hard to imagine that anyone, even at the higher levels of JWT, could have possibly thought this was a good idea. It's kind of the equivalent of a creative team getting together, doing something they think would be sharp and witty, uploading it to this and thinking, oh well, we might get viral on this. Well, they were right. Unfortunately, these ads were just so distasteful and at a time when it was going to have such a big backlash because of what's going on in India, that it's caused a big headache for Ford, and I'm sure it will cause them to go back through their processes to make sure that whatever gets uploaded to the internet and has their image on it, that they have tight control over it, and that something like this can't happen again.
Yeah, in this age of how quickly things can go viral, you really do need that control. Well, thanks, Mike, for bringing it for us. We appreciate it.
Thank you.